never believe the fail. Okay, so this is round 2, and I'm just gonna double check. Oh look, it's actually working. And it's working right, I think. Alright, so I recorded the last, I'm out of my house. I've already recorded for 30 plus minutes, because that's how long it took me to get here. And guess what? Nothing recorded. Oops, I didn't press record. So, round 2. I just want to say that today it's very appropriate that I failed on recording. Because today my whole video was about failure and why I'm failing. Like, I'm trying to figure out why I'm failing again. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to say is I'm going to make this a lot quicker because I've already had one try at this. Sorry, this is better, but it's not. Oh, it's still not that good. Oh. And you know what I realized on the video? It doesn't show as bad as it is. But anyway. All right, so the first thing is I'm starting to learn that I can really learn from failure. I don't have to be so scared of it. All my life I've really been scared of failure. And one of the things that, the reasons why I never picked up a camera and I never really gave this kind of thing a go at it, because I was so scared of failing. There is still a sense of failure because I'm not telling my friends or anybody really about what I'm doing, but I'm able to look at my videos and see where I need to improve, how I need to improve the videos. Like, I meander a lot, and that's just me, but I have to be able to improve that. So back to why I'm doing this a second time is because I obviously didn't check, and it was not rolling, it was not recording, and here I am doing it again. And the fact that I failed on the video that I'm talking about failure is epically freaking symbolic. It's just symbolic. So I guess it's Friday. And I guess one of the reasons why I feel a little bit like a failure is this morning is a beautiful day that I could have taken the opportunity to go walk in the forest, because I have realized that the video, when I'm walking, it's so pretty. Now I've got to figure out a better gadget, because I use the same thing that I use for my car, which is heavy and cumbersome. But it's a beautiful walk, and there's things to look at, and my dog gets very excited. And the video where I was in my guest bedroom, I found it very difficult to think things through as efficiently as when I'm driving or when I'm walking. So I've realized that movement helps me with my thinking, and that really rings true, because when I'm cleaning or when I'm doing something, I am able to sort of think things through better. So I've decided that those are the better modes. And I've realized that by watching myself, although it was quite difficult at first, now it's starting to get easier. When I do stupid things or say stupid things, I have to kind of cringe and go, okay, but that was a mistake, I need to learn from it, and we're moving on. So what I wanted to tell you guys about is why I think I'm failing. For example, I'm failing on getting up in the morning like I promised myself that I would. Like, do any of you have this where you promise yourself, like if you promise to someone else, you keep that promise, no problem, or at least I do, excuse me. It's like smacking together. But when it's about keeping a promise to myself, like for example, I promised myself I was going to get up in the morning, I was going to get up at 6:15, I was going to do stretching because I haven't done stretching in a while, we'll get to that, and that I was going to do my reading and my writing as well as reading at night, because I really want to get back to reading. Now that I'm basically an empty nester, I have no excuse. I need to read in peace and quiet, and I can't have anybody talking or walking around. I need to read out loud in order for me to understand what I'm reading really well. I like to read out loud, and I don't really want people to know what book I'm reading and so on. So I've been failing for the last 2 weeks. I've kept my alarm on. My poor husband has to hear the alarm. But I literally jump out because I keep the alarm across the room. The room is like 3 feet wide by 3 feet wide. I'm exaggerating, but it's tiny. It basically fits my mattress. So I jump out of bed and I press the off button and I go back to bed. And I have not been able to get up, get my ass out of bed, and I'm not sure if it's because I'm cheating. And it might be because I'm cheating. I promise I'll get to that too. So this morning, or yesterday morning, I did the same thing. And yesterday morning, I was supposed to go to my regular scheduled date, like today. But I decided I'm not going. Then I decided to do something completely different. I got way behind. I got stuck on the internet. I got stuck editing. And I'm not keeping true to what I had set out for myself. So when I promise myself, I break my promises all the time. One promise I kept to myself is getting healthier, and the way that I decided to do that is I went on a carnivore diet. And I'm going to keep it short because I meandered in the last video, and maybe this was a good thing that I didn't video, because I kind of got to think things through, and maybe I'll be able to streamline them better today on this video, round 2. Because I actually got a phone call and I started recording a second time, because it was the first time, the second time, and now. And I recorded it on, like, upside down, like not right. So I promised myself that I would get healthy because I had a lot of health issues. After my cousin died, all of a sudden, all these health issues bombarded me. It's almost as if I had no health issues really to complain about while she was dying. Then when she died and I accepted her death, because that was a really hard thing to accept, that she's gone, I started having so many health issues. I had problems in all my joints, shoulders, knees, elbows, hips. I started getting attacks where I lost consciousness. And I also started bloating. And, background information, really important to look at your stool. There's 3 things that are primary things that doctors look at when they start taking a closer look at your health. One is blood. You can't do that yourself. Second is urine. You can maintain and observe your urine. And lastly, most people don't want to talk about this and don't ever look at it, generally, from my experience of talking about it, because I talk about shit all the time, is your crap. Your bowel movement. Your bowel movement is a sure indicator as to where you are healthy-wise. So my bowel movements were absolutely non-existent. They were like scattered leaves. Read between the lines. So about a couple of months, or 6 months into my cousin's death, I was just done. I had tried fasting. I took out sugar. I was researching, and I came to this diet called the carnivore diet. And I'll, in another video, go into more depth as to why. I thought to myself, okay, well, if there's such good results, I'm gonna try it. I tried it. It was hard. I mean, at first it wasn't as hard. Then it was 6 months. I was so good for 6 months. For 6 months, I was like Little Mustache Man, good. Little Mustache Man from Germany. I was so good. I didn't cheat. I cheated one time when I was in Europe. I cheated one time with an apple, and I only ate half the apple, and I sliced it into such slivers that I think I had 18 slivers, and it was like paper thin, which is ironic because it was a paper apple. They're called paper apples in Poland. Papierówki. Anyway, so I didn't cheat, but ever since I came to Canada, I don't know what's changed, except the fact that I still drink milk, and I drink, I think, more than I should. And I'm eating cheeses that are bought from stores. Now that's changing because yesterday, a small side note, I made my second batch of mozzarella, and the mozzarella that I made was so delicious. I'm hopeful that this second batch, it's in water right now, is just as good. But I have done some more research, and I shouldn't be drinking so much milk, and I shouldn't be eating cheese that much. Cheese is like a treat, and milk should be, used sparingly. I used to have 3 creams in my coffee, and I can't give up my coffee yet. I don't have that willpower yet. But something weird is happening, because I cheated a couple of times since I've been from Europe. And ever since I cheated, first of all, when I cheat, I can't get myself back on the wagon for a good 3 days. Like, I have to cheat for 3 days. And within 3 days, that's when my bowel movement starts turning. Like, it starts going not so good. A little bit of background, just very, very slight, is that about 3 months into the diet, my bowel movements became beautiful. Like, do I remember having bowel movements like this. I mean, the perfect, like, density, color, smoothness. Shit's never looked so good, if you know what I mean. Oh, you guys are dirty, but I can't clean you right now. I'm driving. I'm telling you, it's a failure. I just can't get enough of how many things I'm failing. And as a result of cheating, and I've cheated about 6 to 8 times within the year. So we're going into February, and I started this diet in February. So we're going to be doing a year. I'm going to be a year in February 15th. And I think February 15th, I will tell you the story of how I got there. But I'm wondering if, because I've cheated, and in a month at least, now after 6 months, every month I cheat at least once. And again, I'm not sure if the effects are making me more lethargic, or if it's just simply because we're coming off of such a crazy life that I'm just lethargic because my body is recouping. Kind of like when I started this diet, the first month, I was eating nonstop, and I wasn't going to the bathroom. Like, I had a bowel movement once every 3 days, and that's kind of stayed the same. But I was eating copious amounts of food. Like, I don't know where it went. Obviously, my body needed it. I was malnutritioned because I was not a vegetarian. I was not a vegan. I'm not for those diets at all. I'm not for any diets, actually, to be honest. This is my first diet I've ever been on. And like legit, when I was younger, I tried, stupid diets or whatever, like in high school. But I'm legit telling you that I was almost a vegetarian. I ate very small amounts of meat. I ate very little to no beef. I just did not like it. I'm still learning to like it. I do like it now, but I wish I loved it. I love a veal, that I will say. And within a month, my bowel movements were absolutely gorgeous. And I know this is from my mom. Gorgeous. My bowel movements were gorgeous. And ever since I started cheating, I thought that my bowel movements would change. But my bowel movements do not change. If I cheat one day, whether it's I cheat because I have, wait for it, an apple. It's my favorite cheating thing. Or an orange. I'm gonna get some coffee for me and my friend. Or it's an orange. Or whether it's like flat out like ridiculous cheating, like chips and cookies and candy, because I've had days like that.
Hi, Candy Gooder.
Hi, can I get 2 small coffees with just milk?
Okay.
And can I also get the what is it called? The sour cream glazed, is it?
Yeah.
Can I get one of those?
Yeah.
And that's everything.
Alrighty.
Thank you.
477 coming up. You're welcome.
Thanks. She's nice. You don't always get nice ones anymore. I say this every single time. So whether I have, okay, and so just full disclaimer, if I'm cheating like full out with like garbage and crap like that, 475. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Can I get a tray and sleeves?
Yeah.
Thanks.
You have $69.95 left on there.
Thank you.
Would you like a sleeve on both drinks?
Please, if you don't mind. Thanks. Have a good one. So, a full disclaimer, if I'm eating like just an apple, and I'm cheating with just an apple, or an orange, or a cucumber, or whatever, that is, just for the record, cheating. But it's different. I can go, generally, when I cheat just like that, I generally can get myself back on, no problem. But here's the kicker, and this is what I'm wondering if anybody ever does stumble on these videos, and they can tell me. If I cheat with chips and bagels and cookies, and I gorge. I become like the Cookie Monster from Sesame Street. I can't stop myself. I've never had this kind of behavior in my eating ever. I've always been, like I said, what I thought was a healthy eater, and more on the vegetarian than on the carnivore. But I always knew, and I have a vegan friend, my best friend, I always told her I would not be able to get rid of meat altogether, because I do like the taste of meat. I like the satiation of meat. Anyway, when I eat the garbage, believe me that I try, I cannot get back on the diet or back on my eating way of life for a good 2 minimum to 3 maximum day. those days are, on the one hand, the best because I just like cheat and I just eat whatever. But on the other hand, what starts happening is my bowel movements start changing and other things start happening, which I'll get into on another talk. But this is remarkable. I don't know why. But then what I'm starting to find now is that I used to have, gotta be careful for these things. Before I started cheating, and this is what I'm starting to realize, my failure to stay on deck, is that I'm starting to feel like more lethargic. And I'm not sure if it's because I'm finally resting in my life for the first time in many years. Like, I had a girlfriend where I'm like, okay, the move is done. I said to my girlfriend, and I said, Cindy, like, I don't understand. I'm not, doing anything. I'm not moving anymore. And she's like, okay, let me just put this in perspective. You've been going for, I would say, a good 4-5 years. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, when your cousin got sick, you were still running the business. You guys had extra work because then you had her. She was really sick at one point, and we got her back. We did get her back on track where she was in a much better place. But like, I'm like, oh yeah. So for 4 years at minimum, now this is going on the 5th year, but now we've been resting. We've been going and going and going. So I don't know if it's because I'm cheating, and I don't know if when I cheat, does it mean that my body takes weeks to get over it? Or is it more like a hangover where you drink, you have a hangover the next day, potentially like me, you have it 2 days in a row. That's why I don't drink. And yeah, and does it go away? Or does it linger and linger and linger for weeks? Because when I cheat, it's like I feel like I have no energy. I'm more lethargic. I kind of feel like I'm stoned, I kind of feel like I'm in the couch, I don't want to get up like yesterday. And so, like, my failure yesterday, I got up and I didn't go do what I was supposed to go today, what I did today as a result. I got up and I'm like, yeah, I don't feel like going. Then I said to my husband, yeah, I don't feel like going with our son, right? Like, I just don't feel like going with our son. I just didn't feel like going with our son. So he went. So I literally yesterday I did some editing. Okay, I did something and I made dinner. There you go. Now you guys are cleaner. But I don't know. Like, I feel like such a failure. Like, I'm up here and I had all of these promises that I made for myself. I wrote them all down. And I kept them the first week, and then I failed, and then I failed again. And this morning I just thought, am I a failure, or is it because I'm not able, I haven't been as little mustache as I was in the first 6 months? And if so, then it would be great if somebody knew a little bit more about it. Like, if you've been on this diet religiously for 3 to 5 years, is it because, and also I'm gaining weight again. Like, I did lose too much weight, although I'll have to explain this in another video, but I lost so much weight, but I didn't look sick, which is so weird. I lost so much weight. Like, I've always been a fairly thin, slim person, but I lost because I was gaining weight and I was bloating, and that was one of the things. I was very uncomfortable. I had a lot of gas. And this was while I was looking for the carnivore diet, before the carnivore diet. Once I got on the carnivore diet, I started losing weight, even though I was eating copious amounts of food, meat, all animal products, because I'm on the carnivore diet. I'm not on the lion diet. The lion diet is too much. It's not enough variety for me. But now what's happening, I lost all that weight. I looked good, except I looked very thin. My body was very firm. Like, I had firm body. Like it wasn't like I lost weight and then I was flimsy, because that's in the past when I've been stressed, I've lost weight and then you become flimsy, right? Like you start wiggling everywhere. I was not wiggly. So that's another thing with the carnivore diet, is that you're not wiggly. And I haven't worked out since my cousin passed. So my cousin died in 2021. We're in 2025. I haven't worked out. And then when I started the diet, I firmed up again, which was really crazy. So I'm firm. My butt feels more like a Kardashian butt, I would imagine. Like, I don't have a Kardashian butt, but I imagine that that's how they feel. Like it kind of moves with you. Whereas before I know this is too much information maybe, but I'm trying to explain how shocking things go in your body. But anyways, now I'll get into more detail when I just talk about the carnivore diet and how I got there. But I'm failing on the carnivore diet. I'm cheating more often than I ever did. And in the last 2 months, I've cheated like 4 times, which is more than I ever did before. And I'm really disappointed in myself because I feel guilty that I do it, like when I cheat. But I'm also not keeping promises to myself. So I feel a little bit like a failure. The one thing that's happening, like a side effect of talking to the camera and talking out loud, is that I'm able to look at myself, I guess, a little bit more at a distance. It sounds weird, but I'm able to see, oh my God, I did that. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Or oh, why did I meander that way, or whatever. And I'm able to accept that, okay, this is a process. And as I keep learning about myself, because I know myself kind of from the inside, I'm kind of getting to learn about myself kind of like in the mirror, but the mirror is not directly connected to you. It's kind of disconnected. So I'm kind of watching from the outside. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, that is kind of what I'm working on. I feel a little bit like a failure. I feel like I'm not keeping my promises to myself, because if it was to someone else, I would keep it. Like I promised my friend that we would take care of him. I promised my friend that I would come visit. I promised my friend that I would be his advocate. And for the most part, with a couple of exceptions, like when I went away, I couldn't do it. You know, when it's stormy, I couldn't do it. There's certain things that are sometimes get in my way of, you know, keeping certain, you know, time frame, but I keep my promise. I keep my promise to him. And it's very important to keep your promises. It's very important to me to keep my promises to people. And I have failed in keeping promises to people, and then I feel guilty, and that's an ugly feeling. It's much worse than just keeping your promise, because when you keep your promise, you have no regrets. Like I learned that with my cousin's death. I have really no regrets with her. I tried to do everything that I could, and I tried to keep every single promise that I could. So yeah, today I feel a little bit like I need to do something. I need to put some things in place where I don't feel like such a failure. But on the positive front, I'm here at my friend's, and I'm here to visit him, because yesterday I didn't visit him, which was a failure. Another one. I think he got a little annoyed. He sounded annoyed at the texts. And so I'm here with his coffee, I'm here with his donut, and I am here to not fail. So I'm not failing in everything in my life, but I am failing in many things. And I don't know if it's, as I said, because I am coming off of a crazy life, and for the first time I'm actually resting, and my body's just like, you like in the morning, no, I want to sleep a little more, please let me sleep. And because I don't have to get up and necessarily do something exactly at 6 o'clock, I can give my body that. Or if I'm now sliding into sort of a lethargy, or however you would say that, if I'm falling into sort of a lazy lull, or if it's just the weather, or I don't know. I just don't know. But for right now, I am hoping that wherever you are, you're getting the sunshine I'm getting. And I wish I had a better place where I could pan you over and show you how beautiful the weather is. But it's kind of ugly here. Not ugly, but I mean, it's an institution and people's houses, and I don't really like doing that. So I wish you a day filled with content. And I also hope that if you do have struggles and failures and you have some ideas as to how I can maybe stop failing myself, I'd really appreciate some hints. I mean, I write things down. I have a to-do journal. I have a mood journal where I put like some of the stuff that, you know, how I plan, you know, how to, you know, forecast this channel and how to sort of put it out there. Now I'm melting, the whole car's melting. But anyway, have a great day. I think I've talked enough. Oh my God, I'm tired of talking. Mwah.